How did the greatest conqueror in human history, who united warring tribes, crushed dynasties, and built the largest contiguous empire the world has ever seen, suddenly die in 1227? And why has the truth remained hidden for nearly 800 years? Despite his dominance on the battlefield, the circumstances surrounding Genghis Khan's death remain shrouded in secrecy. His burial site? Never found. His cause of death? Still debated. And the Mongols? They kept it quiet, very quiet. Was it a fatal wound in battle? A secret betrayal? Or something far more mundane? In this video, we're diving deep into the final days of Genghis Khan, uncovering the leading theories behind his mysterious death, and exploring how his passing sent shockwaves across Asia and altered the course of history. Before he was the feared ruler of the largest empire in history, he was Temujin, a boy born into hardship on the harsh steppes of Mongolia. Through strategy, loyalty, and brutal warfare, he united the scattered Mongol tribes and transformed them into a relentless military machine. By the early 13th century, Genghis Khan had already crushed powerful dynasties from the Jin in northern China to the Khwarezmians in Central Asia. His empire stretched from the Pacific Ocean to the Caspian Sea. At the time of his death in 1227, he was believed to be around 65 years old, remarkably old for a warrior king constantly on campaign. Despite his age, he was leading yet another brutal invasion, this time against the Western Xia, a rebellious vassal state. But then, without warning, the great Khan died, and the Mongols went silent. In the final year of his life, Genghis Khan launched a punishing campaign against the Western Xia dynasty, a small but defiant kingdom in northwestern China. Though once a vassal of the Mongols, the Xia had betrayed him, refusing to send troops during earlier conquests. Genghis didn't forget. Fueled by vengeance, the Mongols unleashed scorched earth tactics across Xia territory. Cities were obliterated, civilians slaughtered, and resistance crushed with merciless precision. This was not just war, it was extermination. But behind the victories, Genghis Khan himself was reportedly weakened, physically strained, and aging. Sources suggest he was riding day and night through harsh terrain and unpredictable weather. Then, suddenly, during the height of the campaign, he died. The Mongol leadership, fearing it would demoralize the army and embolden enemies, made a chilling decision: keep his death a secret until the war was over. Genghis Khan's death sparked one of history's greatest mysteries. No eyewitness records, no public funeral, just silence and speculation. Here are the four most widely debated theories. Some historical sources, particularly Persian chroniclers, claim that Genghis Khan was wounded in battle, possibly struck by an arrow during a skirmish against Western Xia forces. Considering his age and declining health, even a minor injury could have proved fatal. This theory is popular for its realism, aligning with the brutal life Genghis led. A more sensational tale comes from certain Chinese accounts. Genghis Khan allegedly captured a Xia princess, took her as a concubine, and was murdered in his tent, castrated in the night as revenge. Most historians reject this as folklore, but it persists because, well, it's unforgettable. Other sources suggest a more mundane ending: fell off his horse, suffering internal injuries he couldn't recover from. This version seems plausible. He was older, likely fatigued, and riding across mountainous terrain. Some Mongol records subtly hint at a fatal accident without giving specifics. Still, another theory points to illness, typhus, fever, or other infections common in military camps. And the silence? Entirely deliberate. The Mongols had a policy: never reveal the Khan's death during war, to avoid weakening morale. It worked. His death was hidden until the campaign ended. No matter the cause, the mystery remains unsolved, and it's kept Genghis Khan's legacy shrouded in both power and myth. What happens when the most powerful man on earth dies, and no one can find his grave? After Genghis Khan's death, his generals took extraordinary measures to ensure the location of his tomb would never be discovered. According to ancient legends, the funeral escort killed every witness they passed: villagers, travelers, even animals. Some say 1,000 horsemen trampled the burial site flat to hide any trace. Others claim a river was diverted to flow over his grave, or that forests were planted above it. Some believe he was buried near his birthplace in the Kentii Mountains. But despite hundreds of years of searching, including modern satellite surveys and multi-million-dollar expeditions, no confirmed tomb has ever been found. This secrecy wasn't just superstition, it was Mongol strategy. Preserving the mystery maintained the aura of invincibility around the Khan, even in death. To this day, Genghis Khan remains missing, both feared and untouchable. Even in death, Genghis Khan didn't slow the Mongol war machine. His generals kept his passing hidden until the Western Shia were completely annihilated. When the truth finally emerged, the Mongol response wasn't mourning, it was mobilization. His son, Ogedei Khan, quickly assumed power as the next great Khan, following Genghis's wishes to maintain unity. Under Ogedei's rule, the empire expanded even further into Eastern Europe, Persia, and the Song dynasty's territories. The systems Genghis had built, military hierarchy, communication networks, and law codes, allowed the empire to function seamlessly without him. Still, his death marked a subtle shift. The ferocity remained, but the vision, the personal fire that drove the original conquest, that began to fade. Genghis Khan's passing was not the end of Mongol dominance, but it was the beginning of the end of an era.